Finviz is a very powerful data visualization tool, and not many people know about it. It is one of the best kept secrets. And even people who heard about it, many do not know how to incorporate it into their trading analysis. Think of it as having the infinity gauntlet in your hands, but not knowing that the power lies in snapping your fingers. So in this video, if you do not know what Finviz is, then I'll do a quick introduction of this amazing tool to you. And oh, by the way, it's free and you do not need to pay for it. But hey, even if you do need to pay for it, it will be well worth your money. And for all of you who already know what Finviz is, I will show you how to incorporate this into your trading analysis. Specifically, I will show you how to use Finviz to nail market tops and bottoms. So this video will be packed with a lot of valuable information which you will not find on other YouTube channels. So make sure to watch this video till the end. It will be well worth your time. Now, this isn't the first Finviz tutorial video that I've created. I've previously talked about identifying trend continuation plays and predicting the next big mover using Finviz. If either of these sounds interesting to you, then make sure to check out those videos out next. I will leave a link to those videos at the top right and at the end of this video. Before I do a quick introduction into what Finviz is and how you can access it, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. As you will see, lots of effort go into creating one video, so do support this channel and help us reach more traders. This way, we can carry on creating more value-packed videos like this. We also do a giveaway for our plug and play package worth $37 for every single video that we release. If you wish to participate in our giveaway, look for an emoji somewhere in this video. The full instructions can also be found in the pinned comment down below. So this is Finviz, and you can basically go to www.finviz.com and you should see a screen something like this. Now, because this is a Forex video, we want to click on the Forex tab over here. Now, this Forex tab over here, we can see a few currency pairs, current price and performance. We want to click on performance as we will be using the relative performance, which I'll explain shortly, so keep watching. So, you can see that the relative performance of various currencies can be found here, and they are always compared against the dollar since dollar is the main currency. Now obviously, you cannot compare dollar against dollar. Thus, the USD column over here will always be empty. But for the other currency pairs, you will see a nice looking graph like this. What this shows is the percentage that a currency has moved against the dollar. For example, if we see that yen is up 0.05%, that means that yen has risen by 0.05% against the dollar. And one thing to note about this relative performance graph is that the extreme left shows the strongest currency and the extreme right shows the weakest currency. In this case, yen is currently the strongest and CAD is the weakest in relation to dollar, meaning that dollar yen is falling and dollar CAD is rising. So if you watched my previous video, I showed you how to choose the best currency pairs to trade by pairing the strongest currency with the weakest currency. I also explained why you should cross out the strongest and weakest currency if you want to find the next currency pair that can move massively. There's really a lot of value in those videos and I won't touch on it in this video. But in this video, I want to take a similar concept and tweak it a little. This time to help you predict and profit from market tops and bottoms. So keep watching. The first thing you want to do is switch over to the weekly performance. Now be careful when applying this trick on Monday, because the week has just begun and the weekly performance will be the same as the daily performance on Monday. If you really want to be safe, then it is better to look at this from Wednesday onwards after the market has already moved a little. In this case, because at the time I'm creating this video, it is Monday. Therefore, daily performance and weekly performance is actually the same. Earlier, I explained that we want to use Finviz to predict market tops and bottoms. Well, a market top or bottom only happens after price has trended in one direction. This pointer is crucial, so I will repeat this. A market top or bottom will only be found after the price have trended and moved in a single direction. You will not find a market top or bottom if the price has not yet moved in a massive way. So for this reason, we will focus on the strongest and weakest currency. In this example, it will be CAD Yen. By pairing the strongest currency, which is Yen, and the weakest currency, which is CAD, we will obtain the currency pair that have moved the greatest. Again, today is Monday, so the relative performance graph seems flat, but I think you should get the idea. By the time Wednesday comes, the relative performance graph should clearly show the strongest and weakest currency pair. Now, obviously, the charts will also not show that CAD Yen has moved massively because it's still Monday, with CAD being down 0.3% and Yen being up 0.07%. So while I can't show you a live example, I still want to show you an example of how to use it to nail the market top or bottom. So let's just assume that price has moved massively to the downside by focusing on this price chart here. Because CAD Yen has been declining, then we want to pick the market bottom. Catching market tops and bottoms are one of the most lucrative ways to trade because your profit will be the greatest. So keep watching as I show you how to use a classic divergence to spot the reversal. I previously done a very in-depth video on how to trade using regular and hidden divergence. So in this video, I will keep it brief and show you how to combine it with Finviz. There are a couple of indicators that you can use to identify classic divergence, but let's just stick to the MACD in this video. A classic divergence is useful to identify reversals. Thus, we want to combine it with the strongest trending currency pair that we found based on Finviz. Again, I will reiterate that the only way a market top or bottom can be formed is that price must trend strongly in a direction. Thus, we need to pair the strongest currency with the weakest currency to get the currency pair that is trending the most. A classic bullish divergence happens when the price is making a lower low, but the MACD is making a higher low. Essentially, price is doing one thing, but the MACD is showing another thing. The opposite is true for a classic bearish divergence. But for this example, since we are trying to pick market bottom, then let's focus on the classic bullish divergence. Over here, we see that CAD Yen is falling, as it should be if CAD is the weakest and Yen is the strongest. So rather than blindly trying to catch a falling knife, which by the way is a very dangerous business, we watch for a classic bullish divergence. And we see one over here. Of course, this isn't the exact scenario since we don't really know if this is the strongest and weakest currency during this period. But as I mentioned, this is just an example since I'm unable to show you a live example as the Finviz performance charts updates every week and I can't go back in history to retrieve it. So once you spotted the classic bullish divergence, the next step is to wait for an entry trigger via a trendline break. I've cautioned that it is not wise to enter whenever you see a divergence in my previous video. Why? Well, because price can carry on to trend long after a divergence is spotted. So for this reason, it's wiser to wait for a break of the trend line which confirms that the trend is over. A trend line shows that the trend is intact, so naturally, if price breaks the trend line, that's a sign that the trend is ready to reverse. Once you see a trend line break, you can go ahead to take the trade with your stop loss below the recent low. And this is the entire process of how you nail the market bottom in this case. But the same is true for a market top. So let me do a quick summary of the entire process so that it is crystal clear to you. The first thing you want to do is head over to Finviz and find the strongest and weakest currency pair based on the weekly performance. Then you want to pair them together and look at the charts for that particular currency pair. In our case, it's the CAD-Yen. We want to look for a classic divergence signal as an early indication that price might reverse. And lastly, we confirm price has indeed bottomed or topped by confirming with a trendline break. So hopefully this is clear and you learned something. This is a little more advanced, so if I wasn't clear on anything, do leave a comment down below to clarify your doubts. We do read your comments and will do our best to address any questions you have. And that's it for this video. I will leave a link to the other Finviz video over here. There's a lot of valuable information in those videos that I have not mentioned here, and you will definitely want to check that video out if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.